way back in 2011 or 12, I actually interviewed in this building, this modern-ish looking one. I desperately was running around looking for work. I wanted to sort of escape the, human trafficking of dog walking that I was trapped in. After I was made to believe I'd be murdered in my apartment, it was like the games commenced, all kinds of crazy things went on, and I was like trapped. It's hard to explain, like in a matrix. And S. Kirk Skirkanich Hall. I see Kirk in the middle of this. I forgot what it was called, but they do neurotechnology, nanotechnology, maybe it's nanotechnology. So, and the woman I interviewed with was really nice. Interestingly, oddly, an old editor of mine wound up in the position, and I thought it was odd that she accepted that job because it was lower than what she already was. So I was kind of curious. A lot of people in the world of writing and editing hop around a lot. So I was kind of curious why an old editor of mine wound up here when I interviewed for it. And it would have been more appropriate for me to be in the job as opposed to her. So I was like, she actually, that's what it said on her LinkedIn. Everybody behaved oddly, but it would have been like a major pay cut for her and also a step backwards. So she must have really wanted a different environment. But anyway, but an unusual building here amidst, a lot of old school buildings of brick, masonry and stuff like that. So anyway, it reminded me of a writer a long time ago who wound up at Sarah Lawrence College teaching, but she was like a executive assistant or a secretary or something in an office at a school in the Midwest that wound up having a mass shooting. And I forget, she wrote an essay about that mass shooting, and this is a long time ago. And I think Zane, she wrote a book that has the name Zane in it. And it's hard to find. It's been so long now. So anyway, I'm just doing a pan over here. Hard to find now, but anyway, her essay wound up in the New Yorker, and she was still working as sort of this secretary, executive assistant. And her superior or boss came by and didn't even seem to know that she had this essay published in the New Yorker at the time. I guess it took her a little while until she was able to get a teacher's job or like an adjunct professor or similar at Sarah Lawrence College, which is a very popular liberal arts type college outside of New York City. Like, it's way out. It's in New York, but it's, there are people from Manhattan who go to Sarah Lawrence. And David Rittenhouse Laboratory. So I thought it was interesting that she had, technically big writers get published in the New Yorker. But you could get published and still be in a job that's, some would consider mediocre. But anyway, she wound up teaching at Sarah Lawrence, which is a pretty good gig. I don't think she's there any longer, and every time I look up Zane, I have to look up the shooting and the word Zane before it surfaces. It's hard to find these days. It's interesting because I have a relative who has a biological son who doesn't live with him. Like, he lives with the mom in a far off state, and I'm pretty sure his name is Zane. And I was like, that's interesting, Zane, Look it up again. Put it in comments. Here we are at sunrise-ish hour. Up a little early, wanted to get things out of the way because of open city streets in Rittenhouse and sort of avoiding that debacle that starts around 10, I guess, 9 or 10.